Poor blood circulation is the main contributor towards a cellulite condition. Toxic accumulation and fluid retention also contribute to the accumulation of cellulite. Loss of blood flow to an area, whether from lack of exercise, excessive sitting, clogged arteries, or nutrient deficiency, can have disastrous impact on cellulite buildup. A slow metabolism, hormone changes, and even dehydration can trigger cellulite. Poor diet, bad dieting can cause cellulite. Genes may play a part in whether or not one can get cellulite. Hi, I'm Patricia Angelescu. Before we move on, I want to ask you a few questions that you may or may not want to answer. Do you look great in tight jeans, but avoid wearing short skirts because of your troublesome cellulite? Have you already spent considerable amounts of money on treatments, but as days went by, your cellulite got worse? Are you frightened to look at yourself in the mirror because of the upsetting look of your buttocks and thighs? Do you want to get rid of the saddlebags that dangle around your hips? If your answer is yes, then REJUV is your solution. REJUV, or Dr. Cellulite, is a therapeutic massager registered and classified by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, as Device Class 1, Medical Specialty, Physical Medicine. Regulation Description: Therapeutic massager. Classification name: Massager, Therapeutic, Electric. Regulation number: 8905660. Owner-Operator, Polyroller Inc. Owner-Operator number: 9100861. Handy-shaped and portable, REJUV is equipped with a factory-assembled power accumulator. The accumulator can be charged in a standard 110 or 220-volt wall outlet. REJUV employs 30 motorized, very soft-at-touch rollers, which spin in both directions, leftward and rightward. The rollers ensure a soft or deep penetrating knead, depending on the pressure that is applied. The medical community recommends REJUV for cellulite reduction, which is why the representatives of Polyroller Inc. call it Dr. Cellulite. Cellulite builds up in the subcutaneous layer beneath the skin as collections of fat. Nothing new, right? But remember, a layer of fat beneath the skin doesn't always mean cellulite. We all have a layer of fat beneath the skin. Individual amounts depend on weight, lifestyle, and genetics. The layer of fat is an insulator for the body that cushions our organs, muscles, and nerves. What are the body areas where cellulite builds up? Right, cellulite builds up in women's thighs, buttocks, abdomen, breasts, and even upper arms and nape. In most cases, cellulite builds up in women's thighs and buttocks because these are the areas most vulnerable to fat cell accumulation. The skin becomes thinner and less supple as women age, the fat cells becoming more visible. Collagen fibers connecting fat to the skin stretch or pull tight, allowing the fat cells to bulge out. Men may also get cellulite, mostly in the neck and abdomen. But unlike women, not even 5% of men get cellulite. Cellulite is rare in men because the epidermis, dermis, and the subcutaneous layer are different in men. Men have thicker epidermis and dermis tissue layers in their thighs and buttocks. Only men who are deficient in male hormones may have a subcutaneous fat appearance similar to females. Variation in hormones between genders largely explains the skin structure deviation. The difference in fat cell structure in men and women occurs during the third trimester of fetus development. Let's see how REJUV can help you show off your cellulite-free thighs, buttocks, abdomen, breasts, upper arms, and neck. Let's see how you can eventually gain back your confidence. Women from all four corners of the planet get frustrated with their cellulite-affected thighs. Cellulite-affected thighs are given all sorts of embarrassing nicknames, such as saddlebags, wobbly thighs, or thunder thighs. To bolster blood flow and fluid drainage in your thighs, use REJUV in 20-minute sessions twice a week for about 14 weeks. Poor blood circulation is a main factor that causes cellulite. Exercise the motorized rollers in uniform motion over your thighs. Spot reduction exercise only fails to slim thighs. It's important that you roll upward and downward over your inner and outer thigh, upward and downward. Exercise in uniform motion and apply moderate pressure to the layer of fat beneath the skin. As you move along, apply more pressure to squeeze the collagen fibers that connect fat to the skin. Move upward and downward to stretch the fat cells that bulge out. Cellulite becomes even more troublesome when it builds up in the front area of the thighs. It builds up in the front area of the thighs because of too much leg exercise or extension, signaling that we must change our habits. Front thighs cellulite is also commonly seen in men. Exercise the motorized rollers in uniform motion, upward and downward. The motorized rollers make REJUV different than other pulsating or vibrating massagers in the market, of which pulse or vibration can occasionally be muscle damaging. Cellulite is a woman's most aesthetically troubling concern. It can really become the nightmare of her life. Fortunately, cellulite in women's buttocks is not visible, as the buttocks are mostly covered up. This doesn't make cellulite any easier to deal with, though, when it comes to wearing bathing suits. In any circumstance, cellulite hurts a woman's self-confidence. Align your knees, hips, and ankles, and bend slightly, ensuring that your weight is distributed evenly. Exercise the rollers in elliptical, smooth, controlled motion, applying continuous pressure. Then, exercise the rollers in uniform motion, upward and downward. To decrease the fat in your buttocks and tone your gluteal muscles, exercise the rollers for minimum 20 minutes per session, at least 3 sessions per week, for about 14 weeks. The gluteal muscles are the 3 muscles that make up the buttocks: the gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus medius muscle, and gluteus minimus muscle. Exercising the rollers over your buttocks 20 minutes per session in the comfort of your home is the most economical and effective way to restore firmness to your gluteal muscles and smoothness of the skin on your buttocks. The rollers cause a wavy motion into the skin, which, in turn, will make the cellulite in your buttocks less obvious. In addition to cellulite reduction, your range of motion will increase as well. Besides using REJUV, you should also consider building lean gluteal muscles with strength training 2 to 3 days a week. Strength training builds muscle and reduces fat. Your body will appear more physically toned. Choose a variety of exercises and try to complete at least 20 minutes of training per session. Liver disorder, irritable bowel syndrome, and constipation can trigger cellulite in a woman's abdomen. Experts generally believe that there is a connection between problematic digestive conditions and cellulite in the abdomen. Men may also experience cellulite in the abdomen. Minimize the cellulite in your abdomen. Exercise the rollers over your abdomen in 20-minute sessions 3 times a week for about 14 weeks. Exercise the rollers in a uniform motion upward and downward. Apply continuous pressure to the layer of fat beneath the skin. The rollers will create a wavy, percussive penetration through the layer of fat. And again, exercise the rollers, this time in elliptical, smooth, controlled motion. Apply continuous pressure to squeeze the collagen fibers that connect fat to the skin. Then move upward and downward to stretch the fat cells that bulge out. Additional training exercises such as sit-ups, crunches, and other abdominal exercises help as well. They increase the strength of the underlying abdominal muscles. The abdominal muscles, also known as the ab muscles, are a group of 6 muscles that extend from various places on the ribs to various places on the pelvis. As you go along exercising, decrease fat consumption. Eat less fat-saturated foods such as processed foods, hydrogenated oils, fatty meats, and high-fat dairy products. Eat foods that are high in protein and slower to digest, like lean meats and raw vegetables. Eat fruits and fiber, stay hydrated with plenty of fluids, and maintain a healthy weight. Consecutive REJUV sessions generate a symmetrical skin fold with a more toned surface. The symmetrical skin fold causes occurrence of tissue mobilization, resulting in reduction of cellulite. In most cases, the abdomen area is also reduced in circumference. The nerves relax and revitalize. The blood and the lymph circulation increases. The look of cellulite is never attractive, but cellulite in breasts can be even more upsetting. Cellulite in breasts is a problem shared by millions of women worldwide. Most women take a supple bust for granted, but it isn't so for everyone. For those without infinite resources for experimental surgeries, a cellulite cream is the first resource tapped by women who seek smoother, cellulite-free breasts. But it's been proven over and over again that creams and other quick-fix solutions don't cure cellulite completely. And often, they don't have any objective scientific evidence to prove otherwise. Any effects women experience will only be temporary. Breast tissue is composed of fat and glandular tissue. If you lose weight, you will probably see your breasts get a little smaller or going flaccid since you lose fat from all over your body. There is no muscle in the breast tissue itself, so there is really no way to firm up the breasts themselves without plastic surgery. But you can strengthen the pectoral muscles in the chest, which lie underneath the breasts. The pectoralis major is a thick, fan-shaped muscle situated at the chest of the human body. It makes up the bulk of the chest muscle in the male and lies under the breast in the female. Underneath the pectoralis major is the pectoralis minor, a thin triangular muscle. Having cellulite in your breasts can make you feel very down. It may seem like nothing works and you're wondering if there is even a solution. Well, try REJUV. Gently knead your breasts with REJUV and then with your hands in upward direction before or after a shower. Do it in 20-minute sessions 3 or 4 times a week for about 14 weeks. Most treatments work on this premise. Exercising the rollers softly over your breast doesn't have adverse effects. Apply less pressure. The skin on the breast is very sensitive. Therefore, you must exercise the rollers with precaution. Endermology is another cellulite reduction alternative that you may consider. Endermology is the science of cell stimulation. But we don't suggest endermology for you because it may be too painful on the breasts. Endermology works by lifting, rolling, and smoothing the skin in such a way that smooths out the fat. But once again, we recommend you to knead your breast tissue with REJUV and then with your hands in an upward direction before or after a shower. Do it in 20-minute sessions 3 or 4 times a week for about 14 weeks. And see the difference. Apply less pressure. The skin on the breast is very sensitive. You must exercise the rollers with precaution. Cellulite has become a scary word in today's culture. With so many women seeking to cure cellulite, a very large and profitable market has emerged to sell women the latest magic pill, cream, or even exercises that promise to cure cellulite. But much of the information out there can be an overstatement with magic offerings that really don't cure cellulite. As mentioned earlier, some of the most effective treatments in cellulite reduction are massagers used by health spas. However, spas are not the most affordable or even time-saving option. So why not exercise with REJUV and achieve affordable and rapid results? Collections of cellulite in upper arms are common in women, in particular those women that suffer from cellulite woes in their legs. Experts believe that, aside from the loss of skin elasticity, poor blood circulation also causes development of cellulite in the upper arms. REJUV therapy is drug-free, healthy, and a cost-effective way to take care of the cellulite in your upper arms. It can drastically reduce cellulite and other fatty layers. Give your arms a REJUV workout at least 3 times a week for 20 minutes or more at a time and for about 14 weeks. Exercise the rollers in uniform motion upward and downward. Apply continuous pressure to the layer of fat beneath the skin. The rollers will create a wavy percussive penetration through the layer of fat. Consecutive REJUV sessions will generate a symmetrical skin fold with a smoother, more toned surface. It's important that you roll upward and downward, over your upper arm, upward and downward. Exercise in uniform motion and apply moderate pressure to the layer of fat beneath the skin. As you move along, apply the pressure to squeeze the collagen fibers that connect to the fat and skin. Move upward and downward to stretch out the fat cells that bulge out. Be realistic in your expectations of reducing the cellulite in your arms. Don't lose your patience. Your cellulite will become smoother and less noticeable, but the process will take weeks. Include other arm toning techniques into your workout. Consider exercises that include a rowing machine or even a pull-up bar. Consider exercises that tone your arms, specifically the tricep muscles located at the back of your arm. If you're new to exercise and you're not sure where to begin, consider speaking with a personal trainer and a dietitian to help you get started. Constant stress leading to tension in the neck muscles, problems with the vertebrae, and inflamed tissue trigger accumulation of cellulite inside the nape. Inflamed tissues and unaligned vertebrae can cause water retention, which can be responsible for cellulite accumulation at the back of the neck. To reduce cellulite in the nape, you have to exercise the rollers in 20-minute sessions 3 or 4 times a week for about 14 weeks. Roll upward and downward, over your neck, upward and downward. Exercise in uniform motion and apply moderate pressure to the layer of fat beneath the skin. As you move along, apply more pressure to squeeze the collagen fibers that connect fat to the skin. Move upward and downward to stretch the fat cells that bulge out. To achieve better results, do it in combination with neck muscle strengthening exercises, but avoid cellulite creams and other quick fixes. Compression garments and cellulite creams are too good to be true. There's no medical evidence that show that they reduce cellulite. The ingredients they contain may cause skin irritation or a rash. Avoid getting liposuction, which can actually make cellulite worse. Roll upward and downward, over your neck, upward and downward. Move upward and downward to stretch the fat cells that bulge out. Keep in mind, the intent in exercising with REJUV is to achieve good results in cellulite reduction, not to substitute any weight loss or diet program. For greater results, consider a combination of REJUV exercising and strengthening workout. And take into account that burning fat cells depends on the activity you perform, duration of the sessions, and the intensity and frequency that you exercise at. It is recommended to perform at least 20 minutes of exercise 3 to 4 times a week for about 14 weeks. But you can always perform more. You can exercise 5 to 7 days a week for 20 to 45 minutes a day. If your muscles are tight or tired, rest for 24 hours before exercising again. Use REJUV with caution and keep it away from children. If you have an acute skin problem, do not use REJUV. Do not use REJUV if you have varicose vein problems. If you are taking any medication for heart or blood clotting, do not use REJUV. Do not use REJUV during pregnancy. Poor blood circulation is the main contributor towards a cellulite condition. Toxic accumulation and fluid retention also contribute to the accumulation of cellulite. Loss of blood flow to an area, whether from lack of exercise, excessive sitting, clogged arteries, or nutrient deficiency, can have disastrous impact on cellulite buildup. A slow metabolism, hormone changes, and even dehydration can trigger cellulite. Poor diet, bad dieting can cause cellulite. Genes may play a part in whether or not one can get cellulite.